All right, back for another bulk update. Like the other videos, this is sponsored by VitaGoods and their Digital Body Analyzer, which is a scale I've been using for quite a while now. I use it to mainly track my weight, but it gives me insights into other things like muscle mass, bone density, water weight, and all sorts of other things that you can find out more about in the description box below. I do also find a discount code there to knock like 60% off the price, so down to $50, which I think is a pretty good deal for a pretty good scale. And like I said, I've been using it for a while now, and they continue to sponsor these videos, which has been great. So definitely check them out if you're in the market for a new scale. Now, as far as this bulking series type of video goes, I've been doing an update roughly every 4 to 5 weeks. And the reason it really started is because back in June when I was prepping for my last powerlifting meet, I was feeling pretty good, feeling pretty strong, feeling pretty cocky. And for some reason, I decided it would be a good idea if I cut some weight to really focus on boosting my Wilks score, which was a terrible idea, and I have no idea why I did it at the time, but I've been known to do some weird things. Just take a look at half the outfits that I wear here on this channel. So I was successful in losing weight. However, I was also successful in losing a lot of strength. So I did not have the meet I wanted, and I had a very good meet in mind, and it just didn't come to fruition, and I was pretty bummed with myself. So after that, I made the mental commitment that I was going to gain some weight and bulk up, even if that meant going into a higher weight class, which was something that I've never really considered doing. It's something I've always avoided in the past because for me, someone who on average weighs about 225 pounds, that's where I feel comfortable. My weight class, which is the 105 kg or 231 pound division, I don't have a lot of wiggle room. So I didn't really want to gain a lot of weight because I'd be creeping into that next weight class and I'd be at the very bottom of the barrel as opposed to the top. And again, for some reason, that was important to me at the time. Now it's out the window because my sole goal right now is just have the best total that I can. And that's probably going to mean committing to gaining some weight and hopefully gaining some good strength along with it. Again, I've always been the type of person that anytime I go up above 230, I usually do it way too fast, put on a lot of body fat that I don't want. I feel really bad about how I look, and I just want to cut it away. And then I get really weak because I lose my weight too fast, and I want to bulk back up and get stronger. And what ends up happening is this vicious mini cycle of cut, bulk, cut, bulk, cut, bulk. And anyone who's interested in strength or even physique goals probably knows that's not the best way to do things. You really need to commit and do things long term in order to see the best progression possible. And that's really what I want to do. And that's what started happening. And then my son came, which was awesome. It's been the best experience of my life. He's been around for 5 weeks, which seems interesting to only say. But you might have seen some pictures of him on my Instagram, as well as some of those other questionable outfits that I mentioned earlier. If you want to see that kind of stuff, both a baby and an old man baby lifting in his basement, my Instagram would be the perfect thing for you. It's linked in the description box below as well. But when he came, my training went out the window, my eating went out the window, my sleeping went out the window. Pretty much my life got flipped, turned upside down. You know where that's from? Of course you guys do. Of course you do. If you're watching this channel, you get that reference. So with that 4 or 5 weeks that I had been bulking kind of really went out the window. My strength dropped back down. My weight dropped back down. I was tired. I was more cranky than normal, which is tough to do, but more cranky than normal. And it's taken me the last 5 weeks or so to get back to where I am now, which is back to around 234 pounds, which is where I was right before my son was born and where I was right before I decided to cut weight to boost my Wilks score. So that being said, no surprise, I'm feeling pretty good and my lifts are going really well as well. So this past Monday, I hit 474 pounds on squats for 3 sets of 6. And each week I'm really adding like 2.5 to 5 to even in some cases 7.5 kilos and just doing rep work on my first Monday session back in the gym. And it probably won't be too long. Maybe next training cycle, I'll have some rep work with 500 pounds, which is crazy for me to think considering that it seems just like the other day, I was barely hitting 500 for one for the first time ever and almost breaking my back in the same instance. And when I take a look here at my weight tracking over the last couple of months, you can see, like I said, those ebbs and flows of where I dropped weight and where I gained weight. And no surprise, anytime that my weight was really low, I wasn't feeling really good about my lifting. And anytime my weight was really high, my lifting felt pretty good. So I'm going to hopefully continue to do that, slowly add on weight. And if it happens that I'm going to compete in the next weight class the next time I compete, then so be it. Again, as long as my total improves as much as possible, that's really what I'm concerned about. Now, as far as my next competition, when is it going to be? I'm not really sure. Over the course of the past 10 months or so, I think I've done 3 meets, which in my opinion is a pretty good amount for a natural lifter, as you can tell. I don't think anyone's going to question me of being not natty. but I think that it's probably a little excessive considering that I've been almost competing every single training cycle, so like every 12 weeks or so. I think I'm probably better off if I commit to longer training cycles. So we'll see when the next one is, maybe December, if not, maybe early next year. Whatever the case may be, I'm just looking forward to putting together a good meet and hopefully not have as many excuses as I've had these last couple ones, because I'm pretty good at that. But then again, if you make YouTube videos about lifting and aren't good at making excuses, then you're not really doing it right. Anyways, we'll talk back in a couple of weeks and see how the bulk's going, and hopefully my strength is still progressing. We'll talk to you next time.